All right, before we jump in, I've got something for you. How many times have you wanted to speak up, but self-doubt made you hesitate? Maybe you overthought your words, got in your head, and then the moment passed. Meanwhile, others are out there confidently sharing their message, attracting their dream clients, and making an impact. If that stings a little, let's change it. Say It Like You Mean It is my 5-day confidence challenge designed to help you own your voice, show up boldly, and finally get heard, whether you're talking to clients, posting online, or putting yourself out there in a bigger way. Each day, I'll send you a quick, no-fluff email with one simple move to help you show up and sound like you, not a copy of someone else. Ditch the overthinking and speak with ease. Share your message in a way that actually sticks and build confidence that doesn't fade when it's go time. But the doors are closing soon. So if you're done holding back, jump in now. You can head to heykayla.com/challenge, or you can hit the link in the show notes and I'll see you inside. Hey there, and welcome back to the Hey Kayla podcast. Today, we are going to be calling out some of the biggest, juiciest, most ridiculous myths about public speaking. The ones that have been hanging out in your head, making you doubt yourself, and keeping you from showing up fully, whether that's in client sessions, when you want to go live on social media, maybe you want to start hosting something like a podcast, a YouTube show, some workshops maybe, whatever's floating around in your heart and soul. And maybe you've believed these for years, right? We've got this subconscious programming that's always running. Maybe they've been running the show behind the scenes, making you think that speaking and public speaking is only for the ultra charismatic, the naturals, right? Or the people with a million communications or PR degrees. And honestly, that's bullshit. Like, that is pure BS. And today we're going to be shutting them down because these myths, they have definitely overstayed their welcome. And you've got things to say, and it is time to start saying them. So, my Gigi's old mug. Myth number 1 is that you'll never feel confident enough to speak in front of other people. Like, it's never going to happen, right? Also known as the classic, I'll do it when I feel ready. And the truth is, you might never feel truly ready, like 100% ready. And that's okay, because confidence isn't always something that you're born with or that you have throughout your life. It's a muscle. And there are times when I haven't been prepared enough. You know, if I'm running late, usually when I think a Jets game starts at 7 p.m. and it's actually 6:30 p.m. and I rush, I get in front of the camera, my mic's in hand, I'm a little bit sweaty, I'm a little bit out of breath. And my very last thought before we go live on that Jumbotron in front of like 15,000 plus fans is, oh, I am so not ready, like pure panic. But instead of like dropping the mic or like throwing it at my camera guy and like running away, I just take a deep breath and I do the thing. And why? Because my muscle memory takes over, my confidence muscle takes over. And every time you speak up, even when you're nervous, even when you're not ready, you're flexing that muscle. You're proving to yourself that you can do it. And that is how confidence actually works. It's built through action, not waiting. You actually have to do the things. So if you've been sitting around waiting for confidence to like magically show up before you use your voice, I don't hate to break it to you. I love to break this to you. You're going to be waiting forever if you wait. You cannot wait. You have to start small, practice, and keep showing up, because confidence follows courage. It's not the other way around. And I'm saying courage. You know what I mean? I mean, even when you're scared, even when you don't feel ready, you got to do it. Okay. Myth number 2 is everyone is going to judge you. And this is a big one. So if this is you, don't feel bad at all, because the truth is, I don't know a single person who hasn't ever felt this fear, even the most successful people out there. But here's the thing. The people out there, like in the crowd or online, they're too busy worrying about themselves to be that laser focused on everything you do. I mean, think about the last time you were in an audience or you were watching a live, or maybe even listening or watching this video. Are you picking apart my every word, my every move? Probably not. You're listening, you're absorbing. Maybe you're even a little bit distracted, right? What are you doing next? What do you have to be doing? What are you going to have for dinner? There'll always be like that one jerk face who loves to critique, but you know what? Like, that says more about them than it does about you, like truly. And the other thing is, your job isn't to impress everyone. Like, it's really not. It's to connect with the people who are meant to hear your message, the people that you are meant to be speaking to. So the next time that you feel like all eyes are on you, I just want you to remember that most people are rooting for you. And the ones that aren't, like, they aren't your problem. Like, F them. Seriously. Bye. Sorry you suck. And Also, like I spent most of my like traditional career on TV and radio as a personality, and my biggest goal, like my biggest focus was being likable. That's all that consumed me, was how I was being perceived by viewers. Was I pretty, but not too pretty that people didn't like me? Was I funny and clever, but not obnoxious? Was I knowledgeable, but like not a know-it-all? Being liked on air and then on social media when it got bigger meant bigger, better show ratings, and that meant more money for me as a personality, or at the very least, keeping my job because the networks were happy. So I know, like I lived it for decades. I know what it's like to feel like everyone is judging you. And I also know that while it takes work, it is possible to overcome that fear. And most importantly, like it's absolutely necessary. Like you got to get over it. Okay. Myth number 3 is you need years of experience or natural talent to be a good public speaker. Nah, and nah. Absolutely not. Public speaking is a skill, like cooking, like driving, like literally anything else, it can be learned. Yeah, some people just have a natural knack for it. Just like some people, they're in the kitchen, they can whip up a gourmet meal without a recipe. My mama walks into my kitchen, looks at my fridge and like makes this restaurant quality meal. Huh? But that doesn't mean the rest of us can't learn to do the same. And if you think that great speakers are just born that way, like cue the Lady Gaga. My mom and I just watched the Chromatica movie. Is that what it's called? Loved it. Where am I going with this? Okay, trust me. Like I'm living proof that that's not true. I am proof that public speaking is 1050 freaking % a learned skill. I was not that kid who liked attention. I was painfully shy. I was awkward. I was fully a nerd. I was a total loser in school. The cool kids picked on me. The popular girls were freaking awful. Like I kept to myself because I wanted to. My dad even called me mouse when I was little because I was so shy and quiet and hated speaking to anybody. Like I wouldn't say, what is it? Like you wouldn't say boo to a mouse. Like that was me. And actually I didn't even start in broadcasting because I wanted to talk. I was like deep in my emo phase and I just wanted to sit in like a darkened studio with my music and pretty much avoid people, right? Just wear my band shirts, play my favorite songs. So when I first started interning at a radio station all those years ago, I had zero intention of actually using my voice in front of people physically. Like I was just going to hide like this, headphones, microphone, that's it. But then fast forward, that one decision to intern at that radio station, like it led me down this path. And now I run a private coaching practice where I literally teach people how to public speak for a living. I have my own podcast. I host NHL games in front of thousands of people. I coach TEDx speakers. I've hosted things for World Vision. Like I do all of the things, but I came from somebody who did nothing. So trust me when I say public speaking is a skill, and with the right tools and some practice and some guidance and flexing that muscle, like getting out there and doing the things, anyone can become a strong, engaging, confident speaker. You can do it. And the best part is you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you, and you have to be willing to put in the work, and then put in the work, and then you're good to go. There you go. Okay. Number 4, you need a master's or PhD to be an expert on anything. And we need to shut this one down because this is something I see very, very common with all my clients who are coaches. Your lived experience is your experience, like period. That's yours. Nobody can take that away from you. And I want you to think about the people that you look up to. Are they all academics with fancy degrees? Probably not. They're people who have done the thing, done the work, gained the experience, and then they're willing to go out there and share what they've learned. Even me, like I was a broadcaster at some of the best networks. Like I mentioned, World Vision, all these cool things I've done. I don't have a broadcast degree. I dropped out of 2 schools, but I have a lived experience. And even when I think about like my top 3 most favorite influencers or podcasters online, like they're all super open about the fact that they aren't like properly trained pros in their field. And actually, I think you actually do, like you have to be upfront about that thing. There is a disclaimer I've noticed in Gabby Bernstein's podcast and Mel Robbins' podcast stating that like, this is not a substitution for medical advice. I'm just your friend. This is just for entertainment purposes. So unless you're handing out medical advice, which please don't, unless you're a medical professional, I honestly don't think you need a stack of degrees to speak with authority. I always think about the food bloggers that I love. A lot of them aren't classically trained chefs. They're moms with experience cooking for the pickiest customers ever. And I love that. So what do you know? what have you experienced? What have you learned the hard way? That's such a good thing. Like, what have you learned the hard way? Like, what was your struggle that you overcame that you can now teach to other people? Like, maybe you've manifested like some wild things into your life and now you want to help others do the same. Or maybe you've healed from some really toxic relationships and you want to guide people through that process. One of my favorite podcasts is called Date Yourself Instead. It's by Liz Boss, I think her name is, Date Yourself Instead. She talks about raising your standards and self-love. I don't believe she has any degree. She just has lived experience, and I love her. Maybe you've built like this massive 6-figure business from scratch, and now you can show somebody else your blueprint and help them get those results you've gotten for yourself. Or maybe you've overcome like crippling self-doubt, and now you confidence coach. Like, any of that stuff, like, that is valuable. And the right people are going to be so grateful that you are willing to share it. And you're going to be grateful too and happy that you got out there and shared it. And myth number 5, if I put myself out there, people will think I'm bragging. And this one was probably the biggest one for me. And this one is the worst, because so many of us, myself included, I like to think we're pretty incredible. If you're listening to this podcast, you're pretty incredible. How many of us hold ourselves back because of this myth or this lie? So I want to say this like really loud and clear. Sharing what you know is an act of generosity. You're being generous. Yeah, when you put yourself out there, when you speak, when you show up, like, you're giving of your experience, your talent, your skills, you're helping people, you're offering value, you're making somebody's life better. And if somebody sees to choose that as bragging, again, that's not on them. That's on you. My new favorite thing to say to people, sorry you suck. I don't actually say that to them, but in my head I do, you know? You cannot build a business or a brand or a movement, especially a movement, by staying small. So if you want to be making an impact, you have to be willing to be seen. And again, I want you to keep this in your head. If it works for you, it always makes me smile. Sorry you suck. Because there are always going to be people who don't like it or who don't like you. Just ignore them. Seriously, like, let them get bored and they'll just move on. Like, again, sorry you suck. Because the people who are meant for you, they're going to be listening and they're going to be grateful. And the more people you help, the more you're going to realize, like, okay, this is my soul's calling. And you're going to be so grateful that you stepped up to do the things. So the next time that any of these myths creep in, I want you to remember, confidence is built through action, not waiting. You have to get out there and do the things. Please promise me you'll get out there. Start small, but do the things. Number 2, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to judge you. Keep doing your thing anyway. Number 3, public speaking is a skill. It's not always an innate gift. You can learn how to be a great speaker. Number 4, your experience is enough. You don't need a stack of degrees. You just need some knowledge, some experience, some passion. And then number 5, sharing your knowledge is an act of service, not arrogance. And if public speaking, and I'm talking about like online, in person, client sessions, all those things, you're speaking to others, that's public speaking. If it's been feeling a little bit intimidating, I really hope that these like give you a little nudge or like a big shove to start stepping into your voice. Because I know it's a cliche, we hear it all the time in the coaching world, but it's so true. The world needs to hear what you have to say. And you, like, you're ready to say it. Even if you don't feel like you're ready to say it, you're ready to say it. You share your gifts. You make the world a better place. People are happier. And when happy people are out there running around, the whole world gets better. Like, I truly believe that. Because at first, yeah, I was that one that was like, I don't really want to talk about like my 20 years experience and like name drop all these big places I've worked and all these cool things I did. But I had to get the hell over it, because you know what? If it helps somebody else and I can help them then get out there and share their gifts, it's a ripple effect. I'm helping them, then they're helping so many other people, then those people are happier. And the more that we, again, as a community are happy and healthy and vibrant and thriving, the world's just going to be a better place. There's going to be less of those people running around being freaking miserable and leaving rude comments and just not putting the shopping carts back where they belong. There's going to be less of those people. And there's going to be more people like us who are happy and healthy and vibrant and thriving and loving and living and laughing. What is that, Waldeckel? So keep these in mind. Listen to this again, make some notes. Please share this episode with anybody who you think could use a little bit of boost or a kick in the butt themselves. I'm going to go finish this coffee. I hope you have the best weekend and I hope you have the best week. And if you need anything at all, you can always email me. I'm info@heykayla.com, or you can send me an email. You can send me a DM on Instagram. And again, I hope you have the best week.